What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, a place to be chilling between Mr. A&D. Back to give you guys a Monday Night Raw review / recap. Look, okay, here's the thing. I wasn't going to do this review because I felt this overall sucked last night. And Raw has been doing that to me for the past couple of weeks. So I'm like, but I'm not just going to keep doing Smackdown reviews because I've been doing it on the podcast and the Wednesday Night War, even though the Wednesday Night War is the best wrestling that we get in the week. But I was sitting there watching Raw. I was like, okay, I'm going to give this thing a chance. And there's some things that we got to talk about here. So this may not be like the average kind of review here because I may just be skimming through some things. I'm not going to get into details of matches or anything of that nature because I thought this stuff was kind of boring. And stuff that really popped off to me, I'll talk more about. So for instance, first of all, we're in Chicago, and I already knew when they said they were going to be in Chicago, this thing is going to be rocking because the crowd there in Chicago is one of the big wrestling city, and of course CM Punk rumors are about to go to AEW and all that kind of stuff like that. And we start off with the almighty Bobby Lashley in Chicago, and MVP making their way to the ring, and MVP is sitting there trying to he's trying to do the heel thing of getting the fans to chant Goldberg, and then they say excited to see Goldberg, and then all of a sudden the fans start booing. But I don't know if it was it. I know the Drew McIntyre match, which I will get to, they used the piped in crowd chants, but this one I'm like, did they use the Goldberg piped in chant? Because it was like they was rocking for Goldberg, and I was like, is this Chicago or is this the piped in chants? Because obviously I don't know what's going on here because there were chants of "We want Wyatt" and CM Punk also. But the thing is, with all them cheers going, Goldberg actually did cut a decent promo, talk about how him and Lashley were gladiators, and he's going to, he got another spear. He's coming with his spear or something like that. Well, Bobby Lashley finally accepts Goldberg's challenge. As Goldberg walks off, we hit, how do I say? Oh, he lived by speed, died by speed. He walks off, and then we see Goldberg's son. I mean, the boy has really just grown up. I was like, since the last time I saw him. And then Bobby Lashley comes to down and say, yo, will be some heel heat to put his son in the hurt lock. And then Goldberg comes out there and Lashley runs off. But no, they didn't do that because MVP starts egging him on. Then Goldberg comes down and spears MVP. And then him and his son go to the back. I was just like, man, why don't you just easily just could have had Lashley put him in the hurt lock? And that could have got some good. Could have got some heat. So we got a 2-on-1 handicap match. Drew McIntyre taking on Veer and Shanky. So they get disqualified by Drew McIntyre and by Jinder Mahal. They try attacking with chairs, and then Drew McIntyre pulls out his sword and attacks them with a sword as they go into the back. The problem with this whole match with Drew McIntyre is that as he's coming out, they try to pipe in cheers for Drew McIntyre, and they put in the Michael Cole saying the 16th time, and the whole crowd heard him say 16 times. Like, wait, hold on, when did Drew McIntyre become a 16-time champion? So that was a complete botch that they was not expecting, and it ended up happening anyway. So there you have it. So I was like, okay, so this confirms the piped in noise, stuff like that. Rhea Ripley taking on Shayna Baszler. Rhea Ripley taking on Nia Jax, excuse me. And the match was kind of solid, but Nia got injured at one point in the match, and her eyes started bleeding very much so. But then Shayna Baszler tries to distract Rhea Ripley, but it backfires, and she hits her with the roll up. And I was like, wow, these damn roll ups. So then Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax like they about to go in the ring and start fighting. Shayna Baszler walks off, and then Rhea Ripley comes and gives her a riptide. I was like, oh, okay. Then, of course, we in Chicago, we get Mustafa Ali and Mansoor taking on T-Bar and Mace. And, of course, they're hot from Ali because he's from Chicago. He used to be a cop over in Chicago. But then they just had T-Bar and Mace just beat him. Now, of course, they tried to do it dirty. Then afterwards, of course, that is their Retribution old leader. Like, anybody remembers that shit. And then they just attack Mustafa Ali after the matchup. Charlotte Flair comes to the ring and then makes a very cringy, awkward promo about Simone Biles. And I'm not saying she was sitting there being disrespectful. She was trying to use Simone Biles' mental health thing that's going on into saying that how she's having mental problems and everybody keeps cashing the money in the bank on her and using her as an example, and she doesn't want that anymore. And I was just like, yeah, we're not getting that. And they kept chanting for Becky, and she says, no, I'm the one who sold out the Chicago Center, not Becky. So okay, that was fine, but then she keeps talking about the whole no holds barred match, and then Nikki A.S.H. comes out, hits her with a steel chair. Dewdrop and Eva Marie the Dewdrop takes it on Tamina. The crowd did not give two shits about this matchup. I didn't give a shit about the whole Eva fucking Marie thing in the first place, especially not with this Alexa Bliss thing. And then as Tamina wins and Dewdrop gets her first loss, Alexa Bliss appears on screen and says, and the loser of the match is Eva Marie, and she has the tribute to Bray Wyatt with the gloves on, stuff like that. It still sucks. The Bray Wyatt thing still sucks, type thing. We get ready for Damian Priest. He's backstage with Riddle, who makes the references NXT days with him in the jacuzzi with the women, but it wasn't going over. And we go to Miz TV, and personally, Damian Priest was supposed to be there, but they hijacked the show with them chanting CM Punk, and I think it threw Damian Priest off. And he was in a situation like, yo, I don't know how to overcome any of this, to be honest with you. So, with that being said, we just getting him challenging Sheamus for the United States Championship. But in the meantime, he wants a match with John Morrison. So we get a match, Damian Priest versus John Morrison, and then he hits a sit-out chokeslam for the win. But after that, Sheamus comes down and attacks him, and then Ricochet comes out to help. And then, what does that mean? Tag team match, player. So we get Damian Priest and Ricochet taking on John Morrison and Sheamus, which still, there was a good part where John Morrison slides Ricochet to the steel steps off the drip gun. But other than that, Damian Priest still wins. It's the Reckoning, you know what I'm saying? And they win the matchup. So, whatever. Riddle versus Omos. So let's just say about this, the better. Omos just wins with a sit-out chokeslam. Where the hell is Randy Orton? I don't know where Randy Orton is, or not, because they keep trying to make type of things for Randy Orton to come save Riddle. But I guess they probably save it for SummerSlam. I really don't know what's going on with Randy Orton. I really don't. They had this Alexa Bliss and Lily Playground stuff. Ever since Bray Wyatt left, I don't watch that no more. Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. I said they're doing the same thing twice. Well, this one, Karrion Kross is getting the better of Keith Lee in this one. Keith Lee is over in Chicago. And then Karrion Kross get him pseudo suplex on the outside, throw him into the steel steps, exploded suplexes and everything there. But then Keith Lee comes out of nowhere, hits a spirit bomb on Karrion Kross and wins the matchup. So it's good to see Keith Lee get a win here. So shows how much Richard May cares about the 24/7 championship to have Reginald taking on Akira Tozawa in a regular one-on-one match. So no more running around the whole damn place. So Reginald turns from escape artist to actual wrestler and beats Akira Tozawa. Nikki A.S.H. is interviewed backstage and talks about it's a dangerous match, but she don't expect. But it's about being superhero. There is one thing that I hate, that they showed her backstage training and she was running side to side, and they tried to put these superhero sound effects, like every time she stopped, like boom, like she would stop and then, like do the superhero sound effects, and it just was terrible. I was like, why are they even doing this? This is just hard to even watch, to be honest with you. And it's different when the hurricane is, he flies away, you hear the whoosh type thing like that, but they didn't do all this for it, and it's making it worse. No holds barred match, Nikki A.S.H. versus Charlotte. The story that they're trying to tell in this match was confusing as fuck, because Charlotte whooped Nikki A.S.H.'s ass literally 99.9% of the match. Nikki A.S.H. didn't win this match. Charlotte lost this match. It's one of those situations. She beat her ass. And there was no, hero story of coming up or anything. No, she beat the shit out of Nikki Cross in this match. I'm tired of saying Nikki A.S.H. She speared her through the barricade. She power bombed her hard through the table. She hit her with chairs. She ran through steel steps. She gave her all the moves in the world, like, to the point where she just dragged the limp body of her Nikki A.S.H. back into the ring and just put a foot over it, and she kicks out. I'm like, you probably should just made her lose right there. So then Charlotte has a table set up in the corner, spears herself through the table. Nikki A.S.H. stepped away, and then Nikki A.S.H. goes for one of her old Nikki Cross finishing moves, where she has to bounce on the second rope and does a twisting net breaker, and Charlotte loses 1, 2, 3 that cleanly. That's it. Nikki She just ran to the table and then gets a twisted neck breaker. I was done. I was over it. I said no. That was a terrible way to book your women's champion. That was a terrible way to book the main event. And then Michael Cole kept calling it, this is a contenders match. So I'm like, why is it a contenders match if the match at SummerSlam has already been made between Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Ash? It makes no sense. It don't. So yeah, I'm not for it. That was Raw. Raw gets a thumbs down for me this week, as expected to be, because they need to do something, because Monday Night Football is about to come back and everybody's going to have something to watch on Mondays opposed to this. Because honestly, I'll be watching the Olympics, but the Olympics go off after Raw comes on. So, but once Monday Night Raw comes back on, nobody's going to be dealing with this. So that's my Raw recap. I didn't want to make it too long. Post your comments down below. How did you guys feel about Raw? We probably all felt the same. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review. Hit the subscribe button for more reviews that actually count, like the Wednesday Night War on Thursday and Friday Night Smackdown. I usually do it during the podcast and be up next week, but I'm going to try to get it out to you guys on Saturdays. All right. So once again, it's NC Place to Be. Mr. A&D, and Nerd Coalition is out.